Welcome to the Literally First Class podcast, where I will teach you how to overcome anxiety and achieve somatic success. I'm your host, Carrie Ford. I'm a somatic success and holistic life coach here to bring humor, insight, and wisdom to the modern day woman that wants to feel alive in her daily life. You ready? Come on, I saved you a seat in first class. $100 episodes. Oh my gosh. Wow. 100 episodes. I am so excited that today is our 100th episode. It's kind of crazy because when you set out to create a podcast, you know that at some point you're going to reach that many episodes, but to sit here and say 100, I'm having a mini celebration in my head because I'm so proud of myself and this is so awesome. And I love creating this body of work for all of you, and you get to witness the evolution of me, of the brand, the evolution of, the way that I get to teach and pour value into you and bring you into conversations. You've been with me through my breast explant surgery. You've been with me through having friends on here. You've been with me through having clients on here and talking about curly hair and leaf blowers. Thank you for being here. And if you would do me a huge favor, if you can pause this podcast right now and you can go give me a review, I would be seriously so grateful. I'm so grateful that you're here, and we need to get this into more people's hands, more people's ears. They got to listen to this. And the only way that we do that is through the support of you. So thank you for being here. Please go give us a review. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you want to hear more of. Let me know your feedback. We just want to hear it all. So, wow. Today I'm bringing to you kind of a quicker episode, but a really impactful one. The thing about recording a batch of podcasts all at once, I recorded about 6 in a day. I had so much I wanted to share with you. I had so much clarity and, content that was just on the tip of my tongue that I needed to record, that was just pouring out of me, that it was really easy, to be honest with you, to record those 6 podcasts. And then all that time goes by and there's so many more updates and there's so much more juice available to share with you. So in that time, let's see, I went to the Bahamas before the hurricanes came. And what's crazy is we were supposed to be hosting our own leadership retreat in Grenada. I always forget how to say that, but that's where our next retreat is. However, literally the week that we were going to have the retreat, the hurricane was coming through. So when God really cock blocks you, for lack of a better term, just trust it. Just know that you are being divinely guided and protected, because I can't imagine the mess of stress and anxiety that we all would have been in had we kept that original date on the calendar. So now the new dates are next October, outside of hurricane season, the 14th through the 19th next year. And we have plenty of time for those of you that are, planning on being there and creating your calendar around the event and needed a bigger runway to prepare mentally, physically, whatever. And I just am so grateful. Now, in the meantime, I had gotten an invite to go to a retreat with Kelly Roach, who is one of my mentors. And it happened to be, I was actually going to try and do both, which was kind of insane. But then after I rescheduled my retreat, I was able to definitely give a yes to Kelly's team that I was in for the Bahamas retreat. So I went to the Bahamas with about 40 or 50 7 to 9 figure entrepreneurs, and it was amazing. I met so many incredible people. I left with friends. I left with a powerful network. I left with clarity. I left with a plan of action. I left with the exact intention that I set out to create. And the intention I went in with was fuck up my business in the best way possible. Truly. I just went in, surrendered. whatever needs to go will go. Whatever wants to come in can come in. And like, let's flip my business on its head in the best way to reach maximum scale and impact. And here's what I learned, I think, about my brand and my truth is that scale can really be whatever you fucking want it to be, right? We can scale out with a wide net, or we can scale up and influence the people that have access to the wide net, if that makes sense. And so both have impact. They just look different. And so my business really just you're going to see a lot of changes. And actually, I feel like for the past year plus, you've been hearing me talk about and learn along the way, like, here's what's changing, here's what's coming, here's what we're pivoting. I mean, you've witnessed me teach a lot of different amazing things. I've become trauma trained in the last few years. Like, anyone who has ever coached with me before this era, you don't even know the kind of coaching that I do anymore. Truly, the kind of coaching that I do now it already was deep, but it is that much deeper. It is that much more masterful. It is that much more detailed and nuanced because I know more, and that was the intention. In 2022, I really set out to learn more, to take a hard look in the mirror around like the spaces and places that I was creating and involved in energetically. And some of those things did not work out. It was a really painful year of growth, if I'm being honest with you. And so I told myself that the one thing I wanted to do was I wanted to learn how to coach better. I wanted to learn how to understand trauma better. I wanted to help people, heal trauma. And I wanted to prevent hurting people. I wanted to go deeper with understanding how I could help someone heal trauma without re-traumatizing their system while still creating transformation in the depths. And I'm still human, but doing that work has taught me that it's safe to be human. And what I mean by that, without going off on a whole other tangent, I can do a whole other episode on this, is it taught me to show up in the face of the mask of perfectionism and know how to put the mask down in real time and say, hey, I don't have all the answers. Here I am right now, and this is what's true. This is what's authentic in this moment, and this is what's real. And to feel safe with that. Growing up and really through like young adulthood and into early adulthood, I learned, and I often would anchor to this, mask behind perfectionism, and I would kind of act like everything's fine. I've got it all together, because it really just felt completely unacceptable to not be fine, to not have it, quote unquote, all together, whatever that even means, So anyway, I've learned a lot about myself, and the way that I coach and the way that I human now is just vastly different than the way that I showed up in the past. I still have passion. I still have that fire in me that many of my clients like, and sometimes it's not for everybody. That's okay. But it is so much more nuanced in the way that I am able to coach and the way that I'm able to help women level up and love themselves for who they are right now in the season that they're in.
This message sponsored by Po Hung Yu.
Have you ever thought about microdosing before? Maybe you've even seen documentaries like Fantastic Fungi or How to Change Your Mind on Netflix. By the way, I have a funny story about the Fantastic Fungi, but you're going to have to ask me offline. Or maybe you've heard about the extensive research happening in the best universities and the evidence showing how mushrooms are game-changing for those with anxiety, depression, ADHD, and even PTSD. So many female leaders and moms have jumped on the microdosing bandwagon to help them better manage modern-day stress. I want to introduce you to our new brand partner, Po Hung Yu. She's a self-mastery mentor, microdosing guide, and a former acupuncturist. And as a successful woman like me, like you, imagine a life where your brain and your nervous system can just relax. That's exactly what happens when you microdose and you're guided by an experienced facilitator. So you can actually be present and enjoy your life minus the anxiety, overwhelm, and stress. The best part is you don't feel high, there's no psychedelic effect, and no one will know. You can still work, be with your kids, drive, exercise, and live your normal day-to-day life. but you'll still receive all of the amazing benefits of mushrooms, like increasing neuroplasticity, flow, creativity, focus, and even your connection and intimacy with your loved ones. Not only will you receive a 15-minute consult where Po will tell you exactly how this process works so you can decide if it's a fit for you, but you'll also get a bonus of $500 off and a complimentary root cause assessment call worth over $800 when you decide to work with Po. Click the link below in the show notes to get started today. So much about healing is just about being with who you are right now and learning to love the shit out of yourself. So that it becomes safer to expand and grow from that place. So there's just so much growth, and there's been so many moments of clarity and so much learning and so much exploration this year. There's just been a lot. And so there are more changes coming, but I'm simplifying things. I've been doing a lot of things, in case you haven't noticed. We've had master classes and workshops and live events, and we didn't do a retreat this year. But we have one next year. It's been booked and secured. It's a beautiful, amazing place. I do one-on-one coaching. I have group coaching. We just have hashtag all the fucking things. And it's a lot. And I think at the biggest, my team was about four people. And that's still a lot of work for 4 people. And we've even made some structural, moves. We're restructuring the company. I'm rebuilding everything from a different foundational place because I know exactly where we're going. And I think you're going to see a lot of this show up probably in early next year, but I am laying the groundwork solid right now. And what that looks like is simplifying and crystallizing exactly how I'm serving every single one of you that's listening. So I'm kind of rambling, and I'm doing it because I don't want to say the changes that are coming quite yet, because I don't know how exactly or when that exactly is going to happen, but just know it is coming and it will be good for everybody. And I also, I don't want my clients right now that are with me to feel concerned about anything. You have nothing to worry about. I'm right here. So I'm dancing around it on purpose because I don't want to tell you anything. I don't want to spoil the surprises that are coming. But what I'm excited about is we have our third Q4 Champagne Club dinner event here in Atlanta. It is sponsored by Contour Med Spa here in Duluth, Georgia, owned by Karishma, who will also be attending the event. And we are so grateful to partner with Contour. They do Botox, they do fillers, they do rejuvenation, and all sorts of amazing things. So there's going to be some fun swag and brand presence at our event. So I want to give a shout out to Contour. And that event is happening next Saturday. So that's going to be amazing. And then our next one, if you can't make this one, is February 22nd in Atlanta. It's a Saturday, plan for the whole day. There's been a little confusion as far as what the event looks like. There's a morning workshop. It's usually a somatic leadership workshop with a specific topic. This topic for the upcoming one is mind mapping for high profit performance. In February, I don't have it in front of me right now, but it is an awesome topic. I think we're doing branding. If you didn't know, my background is actually in advertising. I started as a creative director in New York City, actually an art director at the time, but I worked my way up the ladder. And I went on to even be in leadership at 26 years old, in-house at Skechers in Manhattan Beach. And that was amazing. So I have some really stellar experience and background in branding and marketing. And we're going to bring some of that. I think that's the one we're doing in February. We are doing one of those for sure next year. So that's going to be really fun. And I know a lot of people are like, Q4 has been crazy. And then throw in 5 hurricanes. And it's like, what level of Jumanji are we on? It's been crazy. And my heart goes out to everyone that has been affected by the hurricanes. Every single one of you that has family and friends and colleagues and relatives and loved ones in these places. I am just holding so much space for you. And to celebrate this being the 100th episode of the podcast, I have donated $100 to a vetted nonprofit organization called Aerial Recovery. Aerial Recovery is a foundation that was started by Brittany Turner, who owns Aerial BVI, which is where I hosted one of our first retreats in 2021. And that was a magical experience. I know firsthand the passion that Brittany has poured into this company, and I sincerely trust the allocation of funds in whatever way that they're spent and distributed between the hurricanes in North Carolina and the hurricanes in Florida. So I have donated. I will leave that link below. It's also in the link in bio in my Instagram. So that is a vetted nonprofit organization because, like you, it's really hard to know who to trust and what's really happening. I don't really understand what's going on in Asheville and why there is not help, but I do know that aerial recovery is there. I have seen boots on the ground. I have seen footage of them, and they have the resources possible to help a lot of people. And so I definitely want to continue to fund that. And I've had a couple clients also donate to that as well. So if you can, even $5 helps. $5 can buy like wipes. $5 can buy like a box of tampons, something. I don't know exactly what the people need. There are several, Amazon wish lists circulating. And instead of me shipping physical products or going to an Amazon wish list that I'm not sure who it's connected to, I'd rather just give the money and then they can decide how they want to spend it, because I'm sure day to day it varies on what's needed. Like they might be good with, hygiene products one day and the next they need something else, baby formula or something else. I just cannot imagine having this happen. And I would so want somebody to be advocating for me if this had happened in our area, to our home and our family and our life. So my heart goes out to each and every one of you. And I'm so sorry that you're going through this, and know that there are, people like me listening, and people that are donating money to causes. We are, I don't want to speak for everybody. I have been unsure as far as who to trust. And then when I remembered aerial recovery, I was like, oh yeah. So I have started that donation fundraiser and would love for you to just contribute $5. That would be awesome to celebrate this 100th episode and to get that money into the hands of people that really, really need it. And I know that some people are in a tight place, and Q4 can be a really interesting time financially for businesses, but $5 is a coffee from Starbucks. If you can donate that, I would be so grateful. Please consider donating. There's just, the world has felt heavy, I was exhausted this week. My car was acting up. It's a 2-year-old car. There's no reason it should be acting up. It's just been, there's been a lot. And also I am so grateful, and I feel like I don't even have the right to complain about anything right now. So yeah, this is the 100th episode. I cannot wait to bring you along for the ride and what's to come next. You're just going to have to stick around and find out. So I will see you on the next episode here on Literally First Class. 101 is coming up. All right. Have a great week. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed your flight, and I'll see you on board again soon.
Seriously, though, thanks for listening. If you're ready to take this work deeper and upgrade your mind, I want to invite you to join us inside my Millionaire Mindset program. This is where you'll start using my guided meditations to help you overcome anxiety and experience even more abundance. When you join, you'll have access to my entire audio library. Head over to elevatewithcarrie.com and we'll see you inside.